most beautiful species on the face of the planet Earth. There ain't nothing on earth better than a black woman.
Now from the beginning, yeah, God gave you to me, but I took you for granted, ignoring all the pain I put you through. I could never tell you how much I appreciate what you do. Oh, you're so incredible, lady. Never unforgettable, baby. Everything you do is colorful. Everything you do is colorful. Your resilience is so spiritual. You're resilient and you're spiritual. Your love is unconditional. And I know they could never ever duplicate. They could never ever duplicate. Magnificent melanin. The greatest gift ever created. You're my. Listen. You're my strong black woman, but you're more than a woman. You're the reason why I'm breathing. Hey, you give life to the seasons. You're my strong black woman, but you're more than a woman. You're Mother Earth for a reason. Hey, you give life to the seasons. And I know sometimes it gets difficult. I don't understand how they judge you 'cause you're acting while you mad. Just because you're strong, that don't mean I leave you out on your own to raise the family on your own. You were made to be my queen, so come take your throne. Everything you do is colorful. Your resilience is so spiritual. Your love is unconditional. I know. They can never ever duplicate it. Magnificently melanated. The greatest gift ever created. You're my. You're my strong black woman, but you're more than a woman. You're the reason why I'm breathing. Hey, you give life to the seasons. You're my strong black woman, but you're more than a woman. You're Mother Earth for a reason. Yeah, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. The sweeter the juice, the deeper the roots. Yeah, black women come in all different kinds of scoops. And she's more than one, she's the earth's first truth. Yeah. The sweeter the juice, the sweeter the juice, the deeper the roots. Black women come in all different kinds of scoops. And she's more than a woman, she's the earth's first truth. The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice, the sweeter the juice, the deeper the roots. Black women come in all different kinds of schools. And she's more than a woman, she's the earth's first truth. The darker the berry, the sweeter the juice, the sweeter the juice, the deeper the roots. Black women come in all different kinds of schools. And she's more than a woman, she's the earth's first truth. Truth.
If you knew about that black queen, if you knew about Queen's period, you will not let this massa play you. He know. Oh, he know. He know. Those of you that don't know who I am, I'm Herbert Serene. Some people call me master teacher, herbologist, herbalist, but I just call myself, and others call me Dr. Kareem. I'm just a guy that know a little something. You know what I'm saying? And I can take you from the wilderness. I can. I got proof and record of it. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. So anyways, we gonna before I get into it, I want to say what's up, family. How y'all doing? I was over there, hit that like button, hit share so they can go out to people so they can understand. We're gonna cover some things here so you can understand. Those of you that don't understand this stimulus check, those of you that do understand, cool, but we got to bring it home for those that don't fully understand how this matrix get down, how massa moves. Okay. So you got to put like T's and I's and dot them so people can, grasp it. Okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I just like to, I reports a lot with family members around here. So I always want to bring it here. But I want to say what's up to everybody. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I like this one right here. King Kareem, good looking, the Village Ministry International. What? I like that. The Village. Okay. So anyways, that's why y'all can get that music. I think the link is down there below. Jessica, moderator, just slid the link in there, and the actual link if you want to have that song. It's kind of cool and whatnot, because I that's my theme song. I gotta play it. I don't care how nobody feel, because I'm on that type of time, because I know where I've been and I know what queens have done for me. I know I come from a queen, you know what I'm saying? So I know it's an actual major blessing to have a queen on the board, to assist as well as I assisted. So it's a duality. If you really understand, it's not a patriarch system. You in a patriarch system, but it's not a patriarch system. It's a duality. It's not a matriarch system neither. It's unity. Okay. That's why I wear this unk right here. Life, boom, shaft. It means the circle of life, family. That's what it means. It ain't about this family, life, the whole shebang. It just ain't about, by the way, they stole this. They didn't want to have nothing to do with life, family. They like to bastardize everything. They stole it, and they let them tell it. Them individuals that like to be scholars, that are not looking like us or darker hue, they'll sit up there and bang on you and tell you about everything till Sunday about what's what, and they can't go as further back than Christopher Columbus. Okay, and if they do go further back than that, they don't even know who brought Christopher Columbus out here. So it's a lot of just misinformation, but we here now. So since we here and we're descendants of the colonizer and those that were enslaved, we're descendants of the enslaved ones. Okay. And we're descendants of those that were trapped. Okay. So since we are part of that, you need to know how to move out here. And those of you that are not, of color, and you Europeans, and you don't know how to move out here, this is for you too. Because you need to understand. Yeah, you need to understand. You don't even know how to use your privilege card. Okay, that's for sure. You got about 4-5 steps, if not 10 steps ahead of everybody else, and about to even get better for you. You need to know how to use your card. Okay, so let me get right here. And let me just share it. Because I can get wild, and on this live stream, I can get a little loose versus regular videos, but I have to still pull up and don't go too far. So anyways, press 1 if you are off this weekend and Massa ain't got you working. Okay, you worked it out in your contract on when you got your job, you off for the weekend. You didn't work it to the moment that you retired, or you off on the weekend. Yeah, press 1. Allie, hurry up and press 1. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Me, good looking. There we go. All right. Yeah, that's a good feeling. A lot of people be acting like that small. They changing things up for these children today. They're not going to allow these kids to do no 8-hour shift, until till the government pull the reins on how they get down. They can kind of give them 10-hour, 12-hour shift. Okay. That's how they doing these kids now. These kids are like, man, is that what y'all was doing? Y'all was working 12-hour shifts, 14, 10? Nah, if we did 10-hour shifts, it was 4 days, 10-hour shifts. We was off 3 days straight. They ain't showing love like that no more for your kids. They need them to work until they get this AI going. Okay, artificial intelligence, while they can do all the work and they won't need them. So they better figure out how to barter. You better figure out and teach your kids how to do a barter exchange, aka business. That's the order of the day, and the order of the week, order of the month, order of the year, and following year. You better teach them something and put something in front of them. It's simple. It's not as hard as you think it is. Okay, bet on yourself. Have your children bet on themselves, because the average person, I was showed it, they make themselves about the average man, colored, brother and sister, they make themselves what? That's what they call you, colored. Okay, that's what they call us. The average one makes $45,000 to $55,000 a year. since 1967. Ain't nothing changed. Still got you stuck. Okay. I just want to make sure you understand. Okay, so let's get to this right here, because I have to help you understand how you most likely won't get this 5,000. But if it surprises everybody and you do get it, let me explain it to you. Okay, because a lot of people just hear things and they just can't wait and they just be checking their mailbox. Okay, so I'm gonna let individuals explain it to you so they can break it down, because a lot of individuals just don't have the actual understand how the system works. And I get it. They got you so stressed out on the rat wheel, you don't understand how they move out here. But if you just stay tuned, it's free to watch. Okay, send it to somebody else. You know what I mean? If you don't want to watch the Boo Tube, you can watch here. And I'm gonna be reporting. I think I can do this for a long, long time. This is kind of easy. You know what I mean? It ain't predicated against money, nothing like that. So it's kind of cool. So let me get right into it so we won't hold you up, because I know y'all finna clock out, and some of you already clocked out right now. If you lucky and you set yourself up correctly in the 9 to 5, you off right now. Yeah, you off. Okay. You know, you want to get in and get out. You know what I'm saying? That's how you want to do it. So let me share. Here we go. Okay. Will you get must Doge dividend via $5,000 check? That's from Forbes. So Mr. Elon Musk did a proposal, or whispered in Trump's ear after someone whispered in his ear. Okay, let me show you who whispered in his ear. But first, let me play what they talked about when Trump spoke on it. Okay, let me play this for you. So, you know, because it's buzzing around everywhere. I know you've been hearing about it, but I want to help you bring it home.
Proposing potentially giving money to Americans based on what Doge is finding. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I love it. A 20% dividend, so to speak, for the money that we're saving by going after the waste and fraud and abuse and all of the other things that are happening. I think it's a great idea.
How much money do you think?
Could be a lot. I mean, if it's 20%, we'd give back a lot of money to the taxpayer. And also it'd give an incentive for the taxpayer to go out and report things to us where we can save money. Or to go out and
give you a incentive to go snitch. Tell on them. But they ain't talking to me and you. You know, we ain't gonna tell about nothing. We just gonna run out and spend the money. Just keep it real.
So it'd give an incentive for the taxpayer to go out and report things to us where we can save money.
Trump also speaking on the wasteful spending and alleged widespread fraud Doge has found. Listen to this.
We're also finding tremendous abuse, waste, and fraud in Social Security. Social Security is what's happening there is going to be one of the great potential scandals in history. On the program, there are over 4.7 million Social Security numbers from people from 100 years old to 109. Think of that. Now, over 100, there aren't a lot of people that make it. Hopefully, most of the people in this room will make it.
In an exclusive interview with Sean Hannity, Elon Musk explaining the importance of his cost-cutting actions at Doge.
I really want to emphasize to people that this is a very important point. If we don't solve the deficit, there won't be money for medical care. There won't be money for Social Security. We either solve the deficit or all we'll be doing is paying debt. It's got to be solved, or there's no medical care, there's no Social Security, there's no nothing. It's got to be solved. It's not optional. America will go bankrupt if this is not done. That's why I'm here.
It's important. That's why I'm here. America's been bankrupt. Okay, let's just keep it real. They ain't got no money. But that's why they scrambling to go in other directions like Bitcoin. They actually compressed and doing all this kind of like collapsing the country purposely so they can rise the gold and silver. So they know what they're doing. This is all part of the plan, and they trying to bring it all together to make America great again. Because it's suffering, okay? And the main kind of institution that's squeezing United States of America, because they are a corporation and they do business. So they got a business individual in there that knows how to make trillions and billions of dollars like it ain't nothing. So they need to bring some expert in here to show them how to clean house and put this right in place. But they got so many balances and checks and people head and big bosses and everybody that want to swing this and swing that all around and just kind of want to have this power. And they have a little bit of M's and a few $100,000, but they got immense power with the stroke of a pen. He can't do much. John Adams, George Washington, Anderson, all these presidents way back when, they put blocks on this Constitution. They ratified and made it tighter, ratified and made it tighter. They got a lot of people running the show in the United States of America. Ain't much you can do. The one that's choking them out is IRS. That ain't even part of the United States. Look it up. If they not, they independent. Them people are right there. They shrewd. But, you know, some states took the bag and took the money on the federal side. Now they stuck. And they owe so much money to them. They have to go holler at them to print some money. They'll print it, boom. They'll give it to them. Then they owe Federal Reserves. If they owe IRS. So they want to get rid of them. They've been wanting to get rid of them for so long because they owe them a lot of money. We owe them. So, and they owe them. So they go collect from us to pay Paul. Okay, and then to fortify the military and all the other stuff they doing. They know what they're doing. They don't play. But look, check this out. Then they go out and colonize, okay? They go out and colonize. They use that money that we give them, they go colonize. But let me show you something. Let me show you this right here, because you need to kind of like get more details about how you know what it looked like. This is a site that you can go check for yourself, okay? You can look for yourself right here. DogeTracker.com. Doge-tracker.com. You can YouTube it. It come right up. You know, let me refresh it for you. This is how much they have saved so far. It was at $55 billion, but someone reached out and corrected them, and they reached out on X, aka Twitter, and they had to correct the numbers to make sure that it was on par with what the dollars. You got a lot of citizens that is actually, you know, tweeting and letting them know, and this is what they do. They just go out and research. But check this out. I want you to see something. Look at this. Anybody involved in cryptocurrency or stocks and investment, look how this page look. Don't that look familiar? You can click on here and bet. You can buy into what? Federal employee, do you think? Look. Do you think predictions? Federal employees charged as a result of Doge investigation? Yes or no? This ain't voting. You can click this and invest. You know, let me show you. Boop. You can click that and invest right here. Bam. And then you can sell. That's crazy. I just wanted you to see that real quick. You know, I wanted you to see that for yourself. But anyways, back to this. This is how much they've raised so far. And down here, they're telling you days remaining of them trying to make sure they earn $2 trillion is the goal. Most likely, it's already been estimated they're only going to raise about $1 trillion. So really, that 5,000, that if they able to do that, it'll be over if they can go over $1 trillion with actually getting money here and getting money there. It'll be about 2,500 you get to maybe $3 or $4 grand, something around there, about $2,500 to $3,000. This is the goal they want to reach. And this is the estimated so far of the 20% that the taxpayer will get. Now, I'm not here to tell you what's what, because who am I? I'm just somebody that know a little something. I know how to go find it so I can make it better for myself and my family, and you should be doing the same. And I try to show you little cracks of how you get paid. But let me show you something right here. I want you to see this right here. Okay? This is the guy that did the proposal. You can go look him up on actually Twitter, aka real name is X. Okay? So really X, aka Twitter. You can go look him up. He's the one that did this proposal. His name is James Fishback. His last name is Fishback. I know he got clowned a lot in school. James Fishback. Wow. Okay, anyways, let's get to it. Right here, Here's his proposal. You can click on it, bam, and use 4 pages. Let me make sure y'all can see that. Yeah, there it is. You can't, I ain't gonna zoom in and make it bigger. You can go find it for yourself. It's 4 pages to hear what he's talking about. Okay. But I'm gonna let him actually give details because somebody actually interviewed him. Okay. But on the first page, it kind of breaks down his actual, his proposal. And his proposal is, let's let him say it. Now, he posted something about 7 hours ago. Okay. Let's let him play it for you. Let's see.
President Trump is off to a smashing start. What an incredible first month. Now it's time to look at the Doge savings, as our proposal calls out, and send 20% of that right back to the hardworking Americans who sent it to D.C. in the first place, Dana. They didn't send it to Washington, D.C. for it to be spent on a rocky Sesame Street or on a transgender opera in Colombia. They sent it for our roads, our bridges, our healthcare, and our education. That clearly has been lacking. So guess what? Taxpayers are overdue for restitution. They need a refund. And I'm proud that President Trump supports our proposal.
So would, in your idea, and maybe it's not fully fleshed out yet, but would the dividend checks go to people, like all taxpayers, or just to people making a certain amount of money?
It's a great question. So the plan, everyone can read it at mydogedividend.com. The plan is very simple, Dana. We think Doge will save $2 trillion in total. You take 20% of that, that's $400 billion. You divide that by the number of American households that will pay federal income tax this year, that's 79 million. That gets you $5,000 to every American tax-paying household next summer. It'll have President Trump's signature on it, because without him, without his leadership, this would not be possible.
Okay, the New York Times asked this, a Doge dividend. President Trump floated giving taxpayers a piece of any savings that Elon Musk cost-cutting generates, which could reignite inflation. And I'm no AI expert, but I just checked on Grok. I just asked a question. Would giving these checks possibly lead to more inflation? And Grok says yes. What do you say?
I say no, and here's why, Dana. The first reason is that our economy is in much better shape the last time stimulus checks were indiscriminately sent out by President Biden. We had a massive labor shortage, supply chain dislocations, and they were sent out to everybody, not just taxpayers. The second reason is that this money is coming from direct savings. So remember, for every $5 that Doge saves, $1 goes back to hardworking taxpayers. And a poll from 2019, CNBC found that 70% of Americans would use this type of check to pay down debt, which is the opposite of inflationary. It's deflationary. So this is a good policy. So it's good economics.
That's going to be my last question. Do you think that if somebody does ultimately get this check, if they have credit card debt, they should use that extra money that they found, the savings, the money they weren't expecting to get back, and pay down their own debt?
Absolutely. Just like DC should get its house in order. So then should the government do the same? The government should do the same, which is why this proposal calls for the rest of the money, the other 80%, to narrow the deficit, Dana, and to pay down our national debt. But American taxpayers who have worked hard, they need a break. They need restitution. The biggest part, Dana, though, is we incentivize them to report waste, fraud, and abuse. As President Trump said on Air Force One, report waste, fraud, and abuse, Dana, because guess what? The more Doge saves, the bigger their Doge dividend check is.
Okay. Interesting.
Okay. Let's keep it real. Empress. Let me say like this. Let's press 1 if you go pay off, if you get this check. 2,500, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, whatever it is. If you got it, you paying off debt. Let's keep it real. What you doing? Press 1 if you paying off debt. Somebody said no. I want to make sure people paying attention. Oh, Karu said he paying off his debt. He said he paying off his debt. Okay, Alan, you paying off debt? No, listen. If you did get it, a smart move, act like it ain't there, and just throw it in Bitcoin. That's like a guaranteed, 4-5x of your money in 3 years. Okay, maybe even this year. I would just throw it in Bitcoin. I wouldn't do that. So, anyways, check this out. Here's what they left out. Let me bring it home for you. Okay, so here's where they left it out right here. Then that's good. That's what you do. you definitely pay this out. Yeah, pay off your student loan debt. That's for sure. Because they criminals. They criminals when it comes to that. So so you saying if I could wait. So you saying is he saying that if I could pay off more 5,000 than 5,000, I will put it in Bitcoin and ETH? Yeah, I would put it. That's what I'm saying. If you took that money, whether it's 2,500, 2,000, and you just threw it in Bitcoin, you don't look at the moment. You look at the future. So you're gonna definitely 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 times your money, and in probably less than 5 years, most likely, easy in Bitcoin. All right. So that's what, for what? But some people don't like wait. Or you could take it $5,000. You could start a business, 2,500. It really don't cost nothing about a couple $500 to a couple $1,000 to start a business. It really don't. You can always find these places to lease, and they'll lease their lease units to you for free because they just want somebody in there and they know you got to renovate it. Okay. Like slap some paint, take care of the floor, stuff like that. They'll just for you to get in there, you can get an extra 3 to 4 months out of them before they charge you your first rent. Ask me how I know. I've done it multiple times. So you can just take that and buy your supplies, and then you can fortify your move. But just taking the money and going down buying a bunch of eggs, you know what I'm saying? Or going down there buying yourself some clothes, or just spend it. But something, it's okay. You in this matrix. If you got to use that money to just treat yourself, I get it, man. It's stressful in this matrix. It really is. But let me bring it home for you. I want you to know this. Okay. Right here said, Kareem, why do I have to pay taxes on Bitcoin? Not right now. Okay, not right now. You only pay taxes when you cash out on it, and they ain't really doing that this year. Okay, so that ain't right now. There you go. They'll tell you about it. But anyways, what you want to focus on here is the portion when it comes to your this $5,000 that they say they're forgetting that it has to go through Congress. It has to go through the House of Representatives. Then it has to go through the Senate, and they have to vote on it. And they got some kind of like dog, not just, they got some Democrats in there that is kind of like have say so more than just them ones that just in the seats. And it's a group of them. It's a group of them right there. And they got to be on one accord as well. Okay. So it's just not the House and Senate. It's some other ones in there that them OGs that they don't let it slide. And they more concerned about United States debt. They ain't concerned about you. That's just reality of the truth. So it can slide through the House of Representatives and they vote on it and it pass. The Speaker of the House pushes it through. He Republican too. So they got control of that, and they have control of the Senate, but not technically. It's some other ones that are still rogue that ain't going to, you need a little bit more vote, when it comes to something like this. Okay, a little bit more. It just ain't confirming nobody for an administration position like John F. Kennedy, okay, or Kennedy Jr., or confirming some of that young lady that's trying to be the Secretary of Defense. No, it's a lot more votes with something like this. And usually they don't pass. Okay, so I just want to make sure you let that sink in. They don't. But if it does pass, guess who gonna get it? You got to pay attention to what they said. Now you can go read that article. You can go to Twitter, look up whatever that guy's name is. What is the guy's name? James Fishback. It ain't hard to forget him. Yeah, that's it. James Fishback. Go look up James Fishback on Twitter, and you'll see the article there. Right on the first page, you got 3 boom, boom, boom bullet points. And it says in there that those that will receive this is those that have filed their taxes. If it comes to your hands and it happens. This guy kind of whispered in, Mr. Elon Musk's ear, and Elon Musk whispered in Trump's ear, and he liked it. But only 3/4 of the country pays their taxes. Okay, I'm one of them. I paid myself, paid taxes. So if you go to work and you reporting your taxes, you one of them. That other 20, 30%, that other 30%, they're low income. They don't pay taxes. So they're not going to get nothing. And they're hoping that this will incentivize them to go out and work more in the field and get themselves a check. Okay, so those that are getting subsidized living, you ain't going to get no check. Okay, so don't get mad when they start sending this stimulation check out if it happens, which I doubt it, because you got a lot of, they don't agree with helping their people out. Okay, so it would be good to put a smile on your face, make you feel a little better, help you go buy some groceries and some eggs and whatnot, invest in some things. You really just gonna give it back to businesses and whatnot. It'll stimulate the economy. So it'd be good, but it's a lot of them that don't really like us. Okay, because they ain't like us. Did you catch that? That was cool. They don't like us because they ain't like us. We poor. Okay, and we subjects. Okay, even the shepherds. So that's how they look at us. Okay, I want you to make sure you pay attention. Okay, so let's go over here, and now we're gonna cover what Master's looking for. So I don't see it happening myself, but if it does, I just take extra money and I just invest it. That's what I usually do. And if it's something that is not really meaningful to me, I'll give it away. That's what I usually do. Just give it away to somebody, but I'll usually go kind of double it or triple it and go get somebody that's in need around a ride, a car, get them like $5,000 bucket because everybody out here is stressing. I do a lot of stuff behind the scenes, but I just don't publicize it and whatnot because it's not. Who want to watch something like that? If I see people doing on that TikTok stuff, they like it. But anyway, let me show you something. Let's get into this right here. Your country is looking for gold. They check in on if their gold is there because they see a lot of fraud with the people in power, and they want to make sure the gold is still there. So let me play it. Let me play it for you so you can see it. Let me show you. I need you to see this. In fact, are we halfway through? Yeah, we halfway through. No, we'll talk about it after the go. We'll talk about that after the go. So let me play this. Let me play it. Here we go.
Trump has vowed to personally go to Fort Knox to inspect whether or not the nation's multi-billion-dollar gold reserve has been stolen. It comes after Elon Musk shared several posts online questioning if the gold is still there, calling for a walkthrough of the facility.
Did anybody steal the gold in Fort Knox? It's a pretty amazing place, but I'm going to actually go. We're going to open the doors. We're going to inspect Fort Knox. We want to make sure that we actually have 400 tons of gold or whatever the hell it is. It's a lot of gold.
There is no current evidence to support the theory. Meanwhile, the Senate narrowly voted in Trump loyalist and conspiracy theorist Kash Patel as the new director of the FBI. Following the appointment, Patel tweeted saying he will rebuild an FBI the American people can be proud of, and to those who seek to harm Americans, we will hunt you down in every corner of this planet.
Yeah, so they're looking for gold right now, and they actually have they're going to check to find out. You have to understand this actual country is these Roman empires. They actually they don't play around with their stuff. They like to hoard all the money and they like to keep it for themselves. And I'm not really here trying to make no friends or nothing. I just want people to understand they've been doing this. Okay, so don't get caught up in thinking that they are your friends. They look kind of they all about power, heavy power. Let me see if I can show this right here. They're about power. You see that? They're about power. So they always hoarding precious commodities. So it's about $500 billion, close to $500 billion of gold that's supposed to be at Fort Knox. And a lot of administrations have not went over there and seen it, and they don't know if it exists. So they feel if it's a lot of scamming and you know, taking advantage and fraud going on, then might not be there. So they need to go check and make sure the bag is still there. Okay.
President Trump said something surprising on the flight back to Washington from Florida. He told reporters in Air Force One that he wants Elon Musk, who's his advisor in charge of the Department of Government Efficiency, to look into whether the gold is still in Fort Knox. Fort Knox is, of course, one of the world's most famous depositories for gold. And there's been a conspiracy theory brewing for quite some time that there is no actual gold there, and that there's been no audit of whether or not the gold is still in the Fort Knox. So President Trump said that he wants Elon Musk to look into that. If the gold is not there, he's going to be very upset. This is something that Elon Musk, who is traveling with the president, has been posting about on social media for several days now. And this has been gaining steam in some right-wing circles. However, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says, don't worry about it. The gold actually is there. And he gave an interview to a talk show host from Wisconsin who said that there is regularly check on the status of the gold. There's nothing to worry about. Remains to be seen if Elon Musk will actually visit Fort Knox, whether President Trump will want him to go there. But this is something that's percolating and something that could see some new developments on in the near future.
Okay.
We're going to go into Fort Knox.
Okay. Okay. I seen that right there. So just keep that in mind. I just want to help you guys understand this part about when you're dealing with I'm not really hating on this country like that, because you here, I'm here, we live in here. We got to make the best of it. But I want to make sure you understand that this is an entrapment type setup you live in. But you can leave, but they make it difficult for you to leave and have what you need to survive. So you got to be strategized if you want to just bounce. And most of us have ties here, so we don't want to bounce. But just make sure you understand that they love controlling. They love to control, and it's just invisible change. You have change on you, and they try to make sure they keep you pretty much poor at a status of under 100,000. They don't want their own people to make past $79,000, $80,000. They don't want you to make it past, if you colored folks, to make it past, 50, 60,000. This is how they keep you for the rest of your life till you 62, 65. So that's how they get down. So once you know the playbook, you can know how to move a little bit differently accordingly. So I could tell you from an actual experience that I was scared out of my mind, thinking I was going to fail and fall on my face when I started on my own for my business. I did some research, I studied, I grind for about 2-3 years, dealing with ups and downs of relationships and life happens, and trying to just make a queen do what I want a queen to do. It wasn't working out the way I expected it. But then when I started working in unison and understand the details of that queen and how to move with that queen and what she brings to the table and what I bring to the table, it's kind of like a hard thing to do in this country, because they actually purposely make sure that they attack all homes that try to stay together, especially anybody of color. Okay, so they try to make sure that you stay separated, and it causes a lot of division. They give over here to the queen and they take over here from the king. And then what you think will happen? It's going to be like a half and half nots with the king and the queen in the house. That's how it's going to be, or in a relationship. They set it up like that purposely for you to fail. Ask me how I know. But once I started understanding how they move, I moved quickly within my first year starting the business within that 5%. 5% of people make $787,000 a year. That's how much they make. It ain't a lot. It ain't like millions of dollars. 5% of people in the United States make $787,000 a year. Let that sink in. Stop thinking it's millions of dollars and hundreds of millions of dollars, billions of dollars. The average 5% in the United States, it's not even a lot, make close to $800,000 repetitively yearly. Ask me how I know. So you don't really need a lot to get out in this country because you can't really buy a lot. Those that got them millions and hundreds, they know they can't do much. They know it. That's why that don't move me like that. But I want you to know that if you look at the Roman Empire, how they move, they ain't really changed. They like to keep, like the young lady put up in here, they like to keep all their precious commodity and give you a little something, something. They like to keep you poor and they like to keep you unhealthy. They like to make sure they're giving you, we're literally running out of eggs and running out of meat that y'all meat eaters and everybody like to eat. You're running out of food because they want to control the actual manufacturers that produce it and the farmers. The ones that coming out of the country and the ones that putting together in this country. They need to control it. They're controlling freaks. They got power freaks. They got so much money. It's ridiculous. Money don't move them. Power does. And controlling you and I does. Okay? So once you understand that, maybe you will leave the country. Maybe you will leave and go to another go into the rural area. Maybe you'll kind of live out of a van on a boat. Maybe you'll actually live in a small house. You kind of consolidate your living arrangements and kind of like know you can live within your means and structure it around there and put a real plan together instead of their business plan that's tailored into the United States. It is. They play a lot of games. That's me how I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's a lot of trickeration you got to do just to get your stuff through customs around here. They like to play games. But let me show you something. Let me address the lady that talked about some iodine. I saw you, Robin. You said, how long does iodine last? Iodine lasts for at least the one I sell. It lasts for a long time. You might want to, this ain't the iodine, but it looked like this. It's a smaller bottle. You might want to just open it up a little bit. But if you notice, it kind of turned yellow a little bit because it's strong. Like I already said, you only need to use anywhere between 2 to 3 drops of that. And it's fine. But those of you that want to get some iodine, because I don't really supposed to be talking about my iodine because I'll just leave that alone. I don't like promoting that one because, they got rules. We'll just leave that alone. Now, those of you that want to get a watered down version of iodine, glucose iodine, you can go right to Amazon. It's glucose iodine. It's not nascent iodine. There's no other iodine they got out there. Glucose iodine. Go to Amazon and you can go get that iodine. And that one is 2% iodine. That one, I would at triple the doses just to, have some type of strength. Iodine, most people lack iodine in their body. Heavily lack iodine in their body. Here's a little secret for you. Bladderwrack sea moss itself, Dr. Sable was a whiz with that one. It's 2 seaweeds and they're heavy with iodine. Bladderwrack will help you with your digestive tract. It's like a soft diuretic, diuretic. And the sea moss itself is the one that has that 92 minerals of the 102 that your body needs. Bladderwrack sea moss is not the only one that will give you that many minerals, Himalaya salt would do the same thing. You just need to know what minerals and traces of minerals have that, so you can have it in your body because they strips every minerals out of all the food. Might be, if you're lucky, maybe 3-5% of all the foods that are not processed. It might have some type of nutrients, and so your body be starving for it. So just want to give you that tip right there. So with iodine, it's a beast. It will correct your whole entire system that's been damaged. So just kind of have that in there, and you could take that as a supplement, and you could kind of do an iodine test. I ain't gonna do it here because I want to report news, so I ain't gonna do it here. But yeah, that iodine that I actually sell, it will last. Even the glucose one you buy on Amazon, that bad boy will last 10+ years. You can tell mine is strong because mine is kind of like, you'll see the color of yellow coming out of it. So just use that sparingly. 1 drop, 2 drops is good, and 2 ounces of water every other day, you fine. But this right here, we talk about cayenne pepper because we leading in strokes and we leading in heart attacks. I do this every time I do a live stream video because some people are new. 2 squirts. And you just take some water. You add yourself 1 ounce to 2 ounces of water. Boom. Swirl it around. Get a little bit more water in there. That'll be a little too strong. I'm about to add this stronger iodine, stronger cayenne pepper, which is 90. I use this one is 40 because a lot of people is complaining saying it's too strong, Kareem. That's it. That's it. It ain't rocket science. This right there, here, cayenne pepper is a beast when it comes to making sure you won't get no possible, we can't be doing factual here, possible blood clots. Okay? You don't want to be having that in your system. That would causes you to have yourself a heart attack or stroke. You want to keep the blood moving. You want to keep it clear. This is actually a cheap version of doing that. Those of y'all that want to get heavy and make sure you keep your heart right, you want to add magnesium to your arsenal daily. You want to add D3 to your arsenal daily. At least 10,000 units of IU. And when you're taking 10,000 IUs, you want to actually have yourself K2. Why K2 is so important? Because it's calcium, okay? And vitamin D3 will actually, it sometimes will build up calcium in your heart and you'll get plaque and then you'll start having yourself maybe a heart attack or stroke. But K2 will make sure it pushes calcium where into the bones. That's what K2 is for. So you want to make sure you have them both together so you can keep that on point. That's why you'll see K2 and vitamin D3 at the same time. But like I always say, for every 5,000 IUs of vitamin D, you should have 100 micrograms, mcg of K2. Okay? And then the other one is omega-3. That helps out with the heart tremendously. These are heavy hitters. Potassium, yes, but I taste that about twice. You could get that with sea moss and be straight. But if you want to order some, you want to get the magnesium citrate. That's the one to get because they have a couple of different types. But potassium, to take that 2-3 times a week, you straight. So let's just get back to the show. I wanted to make sure you have that information because I always got to give you a tip because I would be remiss to not share my herbologist skills because you trying to make it to 100, right? You're not trying to be gone and taken out of here in your 40s and your 50s from a heart attack because you have pre-diabetes because they don't run tests for pre-diabetes. You probably didn't know that most people die from pre-diabetes, from heart attack or stroke because they're having issues with their pancreas, having issues with their liver, having issues with their gallbladder, having issues with their pituitary gland. They having all types of issues, all from pre-diabetes. But they don't really test you for that, okay? They want to test you for that type 1, type 2. You got to be sick first. You got to be out, going family out, so you can help your pancreas and give you some insulin because you have an insulin resistance and you don't know it. Yeah, that's for sure. So you want to make sure that you take care of those sugar intake. You probably don't know you're only supposed to have yourself. Another name for sugar is carbohydrates. So when you see on the back of a label that it says carbohydrates and then it says other added sugars, that's sugar and other added sugars. So you just all you got to do is Google carbohydrates. It's sugar. That's the generic name of sugar. So that's their other names that they like to use. But next time I'm going to go here, press 1 if you want to know how I make my zero drinks. I'll have like a zero soda or a zero drink. And the alternative, how I make it kind of like taste the same. And it ain't no difference. And it don't have no aftertaste. Individuals that have themselves still a sweet tooth, but you don't want to spike your insulin. You don't want to actually spike your sugar. You don't want to tear your body up. And it's actually FDA approved because us herbalists, we don't know nothing. We witch doctors and y'all don't want to trust us. But I can show you how bona fide doctors that have been teaching me. Hope I ever finish it. I've been in doctor school for about 4 or 5 years. I need to finish it. I'm going to show you next time we do this live. Make sure you in here next time on halftime. I'm going to show you how I do mine. And man, it's nice. I don't like that aftertaste with other ones and whatnot. It bothers me, but I need myself something ice cold that tastes good. It ain't going to bother me and ain't going to spike my sugar and it ain't going to have me crash and ain't going to have me jacked up. You need to know how to actually make it in North America. They wicked. They like to, I'm not talking about the people that live in it. I'm talking about the people that's running the show. They literally are trying to attack your whole spiritual body. You know, you got a higher and lower self. So don't you want to actually take care of your higher self? You can't even meditate and pray right if your cardinal and your flesh is off. They know what they doing. They got you with all this kind of poison in your body, and you think you're going to be all right in the home? You think you're going to be all right with your mind? You think you're going to be able to pray right? You're going to think you're going to be able to read right? You're going to think you're going to be able to think right? You're going to think you're going to be able to remember right? You got 3 glands in your body and your brain that's affected by the food. I could talk about this actual body like the back of my hand because I've been doing it for over a decade. It's like natural. It's easy peasy lemon squeeze. I better get off here and get back to this because I can talk all day. I can talk all day because I'm gonna lose it. You know, my queen want me to do a whole hour show about medical, but I keep getting strikes and limited and banned. I don't know what that's about. So they be sending me like, every time I talk, man, and go in and I start showing and telling. Oh yeah, we're gonna hit you with a strike, Miss Kareem, and 4 sides of life. What? Or they'll give me a limited, they'll give me a warning. One more warning, we're going to just take your channel. They already took monetization from me. Then they gave it back. Then I actually, this live stream right now, monetization is off. I don't turn mine on. What that going to do for me? Well, I got to always watch what I say to get an ad on my channel that makes some money. Wish I would beg you for some cash. I don't need that like that. I just want to tell the truth without you pressure me. So if I got to tell the truth and not get paid, I'm good. I'll get paid other ways. I'm good. I know how to do that. It's not hard. So let me show you something. Let me show you that this tariff taxes that they talking about. They talking crazy. They talking crazy. Well, somebody said, see, look. Somebody said they got a strike for colloidal silver last night. Man, I did a whole teaching people how to make colloidal silver. Colloidal silver is powerful. You just got to do it right so you won't tear your body up. But man, anyway, oh my goodness. Look, somebody hit me. What is this, Jessica? Truth, power, green. Oh, that was how you do that? Is that a super chat? Somebody tell me if that's a super chat. It said, nah, that ain't no super chat. Somebody gave some money. They donated. Wow. Am I wrong, Jessica, or not? You need to tell me if this is I'm confused. Let me hit star. Are you supposed to start? What are you supposed to do that? How you work this? I don't know. I don't know what happened. Okay, I'm gonna keep it pushing. Oh, she said, yes, it is. I appreciate that. Josie, good looking. Wow. You ain't gotta bless me, but I appreciate it. Okay, so let's get right here to this right here. Yeah, I'm up here clicking buttons for no reason. Okay, so let me share this right here and get right to this tariffs. Okay, all right. I want to show you something because you need to understand what's going on and how it's going to get kind of. A lot of people don't understand what they mean about this right here. Replica tariffs. Okay, let's play it.
Ask you to speak yet, please. Right?
Wait. What did he say? He said, I didn't ask you to speak.
Excuse me, we haven't asked you to speak yet, please. Right?
Hey.
Okay. Go ahead, please.
Go ahead. Mr. President, you are meeting Prime Minister Modi of India this afternoon. What kind of trade and tariff relations you would like to have with India, and what's the vision for India?
Yeah, India traditionally is the highest, just about the highest tariff country. They charge more tariffs than any other country.
I want you to pay attention on what they're trying to do to make their America great again. I need you to pay attention.
I mean, we'll be talking about that, but again, whatever they charge us, we're charging them. So it works out very well. It's a beautiful, simple system, and we don't have to worry about, we're charging too much or too little. But traditionally, India is right at the top of the pack, pretty much. There are a couple of smaller countries that are actually more, but India is a they charge tremendous tariffs. I remember when Harley Davidson couldn't sell their motorbikes into India because of the fact that India, the tax was so high, the tariff was so high. And Harley was forced to build, I guess they built, I don't know, that was a while ago, but I think they built a factory in India in order to avoid paying the tariffs. And that's what people can do with us. They can build a factory here, a plant or whatever it might be here. And that includes the medical, that includes cars, that includes chips and semiconductors. That includes everything. So
to help you understand a little more, most people like Harley Davidson, the motorcycle company, the ones that make motorcycles and whatnot, they was getting hit with so much tariff taxes. They wanted them to build. They didn't want to ship their stuff out there and get hit heavy with tariff taxes. So they just went on out there and built a manufacturing base out there. And that avoided that right there. And they just pay their little fee in that country, and then they do what they need to do and ship them after that. It's a good. Same thing with China, but ain't nobody been doing that here. Ain't nobody been coming heavily building here. Pay attention to that. Ain't nobody been building heavily here. Most of our bright minds, they would say, or they would go outside of the country and build and then ship it back. Okay. So, and then that creates a lot of jobs for people in their country. Okay. But if you want to start something here and make a lot of money outside of this country and other places and build here in this country, and you want to fortify your stuff outside of this country, they hit you with a heavy tariff tax fee on if you want to ship something to their country. So they don't like that. You know, the people here that's running things, like at least Trump for sure, I don't like it. I need you guys to, if we can't, I'm tired of that. You know, I would but rather you just build here. We ain't got to hit you with no tariff tax. Build here, and our people will get jobs instead of our people going outside the country, building there, and then they got to ship their stuff back. Okay, listen to them say it.
You build here, you have no tariffs whatsoever. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think our country is going to be flooded with jobs.
What should consumers expect? Are prices going to go up short-term,
Well,
long-term?
not necessarily. I mean, not necessarily, but I'll tell you what will go up is jobs. The jobs will go up tremendously. We're going to have great jobs for everybody. This is something that should have been done many years ago. China did it. I mean, China did it at a level that probably nobody's ever seen before. If you manufactured a car, you couldn't send it into China. The tariff was so high. So everybody went and they built in China. It was no big secret. So we're going to see, but it's going to mean tremendous amounts of jobs. And ultimately, prices will stay the same, go down. But we're going to have a very dynamic country.
But if prices go up, Mr. President, because of these tariffs, who do you think voters should hold responsible?
Oh, I think what's going to go up is jobs are going to go up. And
so just asking repetitive questions. But reality of it is the pressures. He ain't bending on it. I can tell. This ain't bluffing. The move is to get them people to pay more taxes, pay the same. I'll be fair. Pay what we pay you when we have our goods over there. According to him, when we send our goods over there, we have to pay taxes. You send your goods over here, you got to pay taxes. I want you to match the same that we pay. High, 25, 30%, whatever it is, I want you to pay. But from a business standpoint, if you making from sending your stuff over there, okay, you're making about $7 billion, $8 billion, $5 billion a year. It's probably, no, it ain't probably, it's a lot cheaper to just build in United States of America than keep paying taxes every single month or every quarter sending stuff. Oh, it's a lot, it's a no-brainer. So he's squeezing these other countries to build in United States of America so they could be great again and it could just fuel more jobs because they see what's about to happen with AI. The generation of the children has got to get snuffed out and they ain't gonna have no work. Really, AKA, the people ain't gonna have no work. They got to figure out something because the clock is ticking when it comes to their demise. It's just it's written in the data. The sun ain't helping them. If you have the LBGG, I don't know how to say it. That don't help their race. Hispanics and us we don't help their race because we're having more children than them, even though we go to the abortion center more than they do. Wow, that's factual data. I used to teach that in the African Museum in California. We're still out having more children than them. They in the negative, okay? Asians as well is doing better than them here. That's why they can't have more people coming here. They will not be here no longer in the future. 30, 40 years, they'll be almost extinct. They definitely, it'll be flipped. They'll have the power, but everybody else will be the majority. That's not good. Yeah, that ain't good. Okay, that ain't good. So they got to make sure they make it happen to keep themselves in place of power and majority. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck. It's too late. Integration is too much. They played themselves. Let's just keep it real. So let's continue playing this and we can wind this down. Okay, wind it down. We wrapping it up. Listen to this. Somebody from India is going to explain it to you so you can have a better understanding and catch what they say, a quid pro quo at the end. I ain't going to repeat it, but at the end, watch what you say.
President Trump has accused India of exorbitantly high tariffs and has threatened reciprocal tariffs. Now, what can that mean to Indian exporters and consumers? Here's an explainer. Firstly, India does charge more tariffs than other countries and versus what the Americans levy on our goods. According to Morgan Stanley data, India charges 6.5 percentage points more tariff on an average than the US charges on our exports to the US. On the same set of goods, let us compare tariffs that India imposes on US goods coming to India versus tariffs imposed by the US on Indian exports to the US. Again, as you can see, we are way, way higher. Actually, under the WTO, less developed countries were allowed some leeway to keep tariffs high. Also, we could use price support to protect farmers. Also, while India has high import duties, not all imports have very high tariffs. India's sixth largest imports from the US are crude oil, gems and jewelry, machinery, cars, transport items, that is, metals and electronics. And in these sectors, our duties are mostly at or under 10%. Lately, India has slashed duties on high visibility items like bikes, Harley Davidsons. How will US reciprocate is the puzzle. If it is country-wise or product-wise exports, the impact is different. If it is country-level reciprocity, then economists expect that the increased tariffs on all Indian exports into the US will be by 6.5%. But if the US matches product for product, then the average increase may be 11% for our goods going into the US. Finally, if reciprocity includes, India's non-tariff barriers, like, for instance, the PLI scheme or agricultural and power subsidies, fertilizer subsidies, then US tariffs on our exports can go even higher. In any case, impact on India's GDP is expected to be 1/3 of 1% at worst, say economists at Citi and Goldman Sachs. That's because India's exports to the US form only 2% of India's GDP. But for individual companies or sectors, the damage can be much more.
For individual companies, the damage can be more. Somebody like myself.
Sectors to worry about could include autos, four-wheelers and two-wheelers, which can face competition from imported US-made Teslas or Harley Davidsons. Again, our chemical and pharmaceutical exporters may see their margins eroding because of higher tariffs imposed by the US government. Now, there are more questions. First, will the April 2nd deadline be respected? Or will the negotiations stretch beyond, since India has already cut some tariffs and is promising more? Second, can US manage a customs department that has to sift through different tariffs for different countries for the same good?
For the same goods. customs in United States, can they shift through all of that from different countries? That part. Black seed oil is one of millions of different products out there. And when I tell you they got different versions of black seed oil, it's ridiculous. Probably about 30 different types of black seed oil. And dang, when I say it's difficult to get your stuff through here, because now it's about to get a little crazy, but you know, it's okay.
That's huge. And they want to cut government. Third question, the problem is for the buyers who now can't just source the cheapest manufacturer from around the world, but they have to keep adding different tariffs. Buyer's headache. Finally, manufacturers can jump the tariffs by going to other companies, having a trading partner in a country that does not have tariffs.
Exactly. People I deal with, they can go with another manufacturer, I buy from them, and then they can send it to another country that's close by that don't have no tariff taxes, and then ship it to me. Thank you, we good. It's ways of getting around this clown mess. We got to do what we got to do. Best believe when I'm communicating with these individuals on WhatsApp app and they talk on the phone and they Zoom, they help people in this country. Let me give you a little tip here. When you actually, let me let her finish.
So you can dodge the tariffs. Most important question for India will be we be forced to buy expensive US defense equipment as a quid pro quo? Question for India will be
most important. Number 5.
Most important question for India will we be forced to buy expensive US defense equipment as a quid pro quo?
I'm not even going to try to attempt to address what she's saying, what she meant. But anyways, let me give you a tip. I just wanted you to have with India because they're a powerful country, okay? Let me give you a little tip when it comes to being in business and you dealing with customs. And when I went to Africa, a quick little story before I let you go. When I was out there in Ghana, I went out there to make myself a stronger position of I was going to go from Ghana, then I was going to go to Tanzania, then I was going to go to Kenya, and then I was headed to Ethiopia. But before Ethiopia, I was going to Egypt and then Ethiopia. My little son was wanted his dad back because I was already gone for almost 30 days. So that cut my trip down. I went out there on a one-way ticket, but bought some land, and it's up for sale right now. I'm not really trying to keep that because I'm going in another direction. But as I was out there trying to get myself solidified, I locked down some black seed oil and put my eyes on it and see their setup, how they get down, and kind of even set up my own manufacturing out there. This is where I was going. Okay. Then I started seeing so much opportunity out there. It was ridiculous. So I started being pressured by that pandemic that was happening. I went out there during the pandemic. Yes, it did. Okay. Slipped through the cracks right through the pandemic. Okay. And don't ask me how I know. That ain't a story to be told. But while I'm out there, I'm like, stuff started going south because of sales. People in the United States were so fearful, they wasn't buying nothing no more. Family out here was stripping and whatnot, and they were putting sanctions on businesses and making people go home and doing this. I'm like, what? I'm like, okay, so you might have to let go of some of your employees. I'm like, what? So I was like, okay, I always know how to pivot. But it was so much opportunity out there in Africa, it was ridiculous. I said, I need to bring me some of these African decors back. Okay. So I got with some Ghanaians and I found some locations and I started purchasing stuff kind of like a little bit high, but it wasn't a big deal because if you in America and on Etsy, the stuff was almost 5 times the price in America. And people are selling on Etsy, on Amazon, and I was getting me boxes of it. So I said, I'm going to start right here, spend me a couple $1,000, and I'm going to see how it works out, me selling these nice pieces on a different website that I start. Then I'm going to also open up me a brick and mortar, because I done made me not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, not 5. I done made me about 15 different connections with brothers and sisters out there that made their stuff by scratch, by hand, carved it with the wood, tight, beautiful pieces that one of a kind to me. Some of them are one of a kind that it took them a long time to make, because I like stuff looking really, really good. And I was going to get it for wholesale, make it. And when I had that stuff shipped here before I got back, my queen went through stress. And my other assistant, that works for us, queen, she went through stress. Sent them both down there, and they were dealing with Homeland Security, Customs. They was going through drama off of just artifacts, wood, with nice deities. That's it. That I know where I live at, and about 2 cities over, it's a lot of older people. And them European, they love these pieces. And no, I mean, they do. And they would have been buying them faster than anybody else. I couldn't get my queen and my other queen sisters, whatnot. Them 2 sisters couldn't even get it through. They was going through drama. It was so simple in Ghana. They let me walk on the airport and everything. Get a little pass. I was there when they was packaging it up. I was doing the whole 9 yards. But I knew dealing with United States of America, because all the other products I deal with, I knew it was going to be drama. I knew it was going to be drama with them. But they seemed to didn't understand what I was talking about, the Ghanaian brothers. But the sisters and customs over there, they understood. They're like, you don't understand. Their country is different. This country is so in control. When they got there dealing with them peoples out there at Homeland Security, they told them straight out. I tried to lose a little line, tell them it's for personal. I'm on the phone. It's personal. They like, all this? It ain't personal. So I end up giving majority of it away, 90% of it, because I knew it was going to be drama getting my stuff shipped over here, trying to start a business. I mean, like, man, you know what? It's better if I just go out there, open up shop out there, and then when I have opened up a shop out there, get me a Ghanaian or somebody I could trust to actually get them things done. And then when people place an order, we ship them directly from Ghana or Kenya. It's ways you can do it. But man, when I tell you this country blocks you from bartering and exchanging, AKA business, they want it done their way. They control like nobody else. Yes, you're going to make a lot more, 10, 15, 20 times more doing business than you doing a 9 to 5. But damn it, when I say it's drama, the more you make, the more they take. The more you make, the more restrictions. The more you try to expand, the more restricted. You'll end up hustling more than you was at a 9 to 5. If you try to lose your mind and you end up chasing the money and trying to be bigger than you are, you end up losing your mind and you end up like, oh my God, I done created an animal making so much money and I'm tired. I can't keep getting up. I'm tired. I can't keep getting up. I'm tired and I got to pay this tax. You end up going into a rabbit hole you can't get yourself out of. I know some millionaires right now going through stress and they can't turn the water off because that money just keep going and they got many employees. You don't want to put yourself in no trap like that at all. But I'm telling you, this country right here, off of wood, I couldn't get it over here easy peasy. They wanted me to fill out a lot of pieces. I was like, okay, I can do all that. I know I can go through all that. But I was trying to run a trial to see if I wanted to have a business like that because I like African artifacts. I love it. I can see myself going to a store for the rest of my life as an older man. And having that store, just having pieces coming, I can see myself. But I would have to go through a few red tape to get that stuff done. It's red tape dealing with United States of America. So now they want you to produce it here. How am I get? I don't know nobody that know how to carve stuff out of wood like that. I'm telling you, they know how to carve pieces in a couple of days. They know how to carve pieces in a few hours. Literally, I went down there and I said, this is going to be done in about a week. I'll come back. You know, I'll leave in about 2 weeks. Or I have this done for you by the end of the day. End of the day, I asked for 5 of those. I have it done by the end of the day. Well, I won't be over here by the end of the day, but I'll be back here in a couple of days and we're going to see. And I'm start thinking, you buying this stuff somewhere? No, I saw them making it. So I just wanted to share with you, this country right here ain't, you know, they want a piece of your pie of all of your intellectual property. They do. They want to get a piece of the pie of everything you do, everything you do. So you got to have to know how to, when you're doing business, you got to know how to strategize with a nonprofit, with a trust. And it's got to be a Pacific nonprofit with a trust. Also, it could be a lightweight nonprofit, but the nonprofit, a trust, particular charter trust is pretty decent, irrevocable trust. Then you want to have yourself a LLC, because LLC kind of move a little different. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when it's attached to you, then you want to have yourself a corporation, preferably a C corporation, but you need to have your LLC elected as an S corporation. Then you can tie it in with managers on top of that, so you can know how to move your money when it's time to move your money. Then the most powerful piece that make all 4 of them bad boys move is you. That master number, what they call a social security number. So you got to be able to know how to use all these numbers to make sure you keep majority of your money. Yeah. And most business individuals that doing business, they don't know how to do that at all. No, and then you got to take your money and you got to invest it into like stocks or something that's going to give you residual, like real estate and stocks or crypto, something the OG like Bitcoin and Ethereum. And when you make money on them lower cryptocurrencies, you got to fortify them into the big dogs like Solana, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, Avalanche. You got to put them over there because those more like long-term, XRP, Stellar. That's how it works. It ain't rocket science. Silver, gold. You got to do that so you can have yourself a residual coming in and your money can grow as you get older. You do not supposed to be hustling business and hustling as a 9 to 5. Boom, boom. Done part works. But I wanted to just share that real quick because I know back in the day, press 1 if you know Kareem was teaching business and health at the same time. I would drop a business video, 2 or 3, and I would drop a health video every week. I did that for like 4 years straight because I needed people to understand how they could change their life. Those are the OGs right there. And by the way, OGs, you HK Network members, I know it's kind of late me sharing this. Kareem, I was thought I could do it tonight, a little late, but definitely tomorrow. We have like a kind of an emergency talking about this cryptocurrency. I want to shift your mind to a different plan because they doing some crazy stuff out here, and we want to make sure we keep our bag. We want to make sure we make some money. We can't be, doing old school stuff and stuff creeping and crawling and moving like a snail like here right now. So be on the lookout for that. I don't usually like working on those Saturdays, especially no Saturday evening. So I got some moving to do and whatnot, business products and whatnot for about 3-4 hours. But after that, I'm going to sit down and slow down and get this information because the reason why I'm doing a Saturday, because I want you to have it quicker and fast. We can't wait till next week. So anyways, on that note, appreciate y'all watching. I'll catch y'all next time on the next live. Make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification button so you can catch my next live. On that note, y'all take care. Peace. Okay? I got my queen right there. I didn't know you was up in here. Yeah, appreciate it right there. It is right there. Uh-oh. God bless. Where's it at? Boom. There it is. If we're gonna leave with that note, I should just leave it right there. Peace, y'all.